What's up, guys? Today, as you guys can see by the title and thumbnail, we will be talking about the NMC men's basketball team and how their season went this year. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I finally have time to do it, so let's just talk about it. First things first, I think it's good to mention that, the basketball team this year, it was a completely new roster. They are the only team in all of D1 to have a completely new roster from last year. I'm not going to dig too deep into it, but as a lot of you guys know, with the incidents that happened last year, I'm kind of forced everybody to leave. So we had an all new coaching staff and all new players. Not one coach and not one player returned from last year's team. This forced the Aggies to have a rebuild season, so I don't think a lot of people were expecting much. We were only picked to go 8th out of 9 teams in Conference USA, and we got 6th. So, we exceeded expectations there. They finished the season off 13-19 overall, going 7-9 in conference play. They were really good at home, going 12-3. Their only 3 home losses were against UNM, who actually just made the tournament as an 11 seed. They're playing Clemson in the first round, so they're obviously a really good team. They're even ranked at one point. I think the highest they're ranked was like 19th, so we did pretty good against them. We lost by 1 point. That's a game I feel like we should have won if we had our full team. We were missing Femi that game, so it was a little unfortunate, but we played really good and hard. And we also Sam Houston by about, I think it was 21. That was our worst home game for sure. Sam Houston's a really good team. They were one of the best teams in our conference, but we struggled that game a lot. We were down by about 23 at halftime or 25, so that was just kind of, a loss right off the bat. And then we also lost to Louisiana Tech, but we were competitive in that game. I feel like it's a game we should have won. I think our largest lead was about 7 in the second half, and then at the end we kind of just got tired and ended up losing the game by 9. But like I said, 12-3 at home is really good. We had 12 really good home wins. Some of them were against some non-D1 opponents like the University of the Southwest, Northern New Mexico. So, those games were whatever. But we also beat some really good teams. We beat Western Kentucky, as you guys see here, some of the highlights from that game. They actually just made the tournament and won the Conference USA tournament. So we beat them in a 23-point comeback. That, in my opinion, was the best game all season and the funnest game to go to. It was just an amazing atmosphere. We also beat Jacksonville State, packed the Pan Am night. We had over 11,000 people. There's 11,278 people in attendance for that game. We ended up winning that one by 2. We also beat Liberty by 6, which is a great win because we lost to Liberty in football in the Conference USA Championship, and then we also lost to them in soccer in the Conference USA Championship. That was kind of like a get-back game. Even though it was just a normal conference game, it was still good to beat them since we hadn't really been able to beat them consistently in any other sport. A lot of people might be wondering, since we were so good at home, how were we on the road? Well, not as great. Only went 1-13 on the road. We did win the last road game against Jacksonville State, which is the only team that the Aggies swept this season in Conference USA. But, the road struggles were there. But, again, they were competitive in most of those games. There was about 3 or 4 of them where they had double-digit leads in the second half, but then just couldn't handle it, couldn't hold on to it. I think partially, I'm not too sure. I think it's because, we were missing a lot of guys throughout the season. Those last, 5-6 games, we only had about 8 or 9 guys in a rotation. So it was kind of tough to play with only those certain amount of people. A lot of times in college basketball, there's only 9 or 10 guys that are going to be in that rotation, but sometimes when you get injuries or people that fell out, you're going to need other guys. And we just didn't have that. We were missing some guys at the end of the season due to injury and just other things that were going on. So a little bit unfortunate, but we fought through it and played hard, and the chemistry just got better throughout the year, which was great. They were competitive in most games. I was looking through the season. Out of 32 games, they were competitive in about 23 or 24 of them. So most games they were in it. Some great moments, as you see here with that Femi game winner. That was, again, probably the best moment all season long. Something the team struggled with a lot, I think, was mainly free throws. That was a big thing all season. I think we only shot about 67% from the free throw line, so that's obviously not as good as you would want it to be. I feel like if we shot the free throws a lot better, there's definitely a lot more games we would have won. There's games that, for example, we probably lost by about 2 or 3, but we ended up missing 9 or 10 free throws. So that definitely was changing the outcome of games. But there also were games where we only missed about 1 free throw, and we attempted about 14 or 15. So we had our off moments, we had our good moments. But that's something that I think could have improved for sure. I think that's something that will improve in the future. I think they have the offseason to work on that, and it'll be all just fine. One thing I really liked, again, was the effort. Again, having a brand new team, it's hard to build that chemistry so quickly. And again, I know they had a losing record, but they fought hard, and again, were competitive in most games against some really good teams. And so I was really happy and proud of them for that. I think the future is very bright, especially as Coach Hooten being our coach. He's a great coach. He's only had 2 losing seasons, including this last one. So I'm excited to see how he just, keeps improving the team. I think next year will be a little bit better. Maybe get about 16 to 18 wins, and then hopefully, we just keep improving year by year and get back to, what NMC was used to, being in the tournament almost every year and just being a really dominant force in their conference. Looking at some key players for the team, Christian Cook was definitely one of our better players, our best shooter for sure. He averaged over 11 points a game and shot really efficient from the field. He was one of our top free throw shooters as well, which is always, you could always rely on him to shoot the ball well and not be hesitant to shoot. He's a great player. He had his stretches where he was, a little off or cold at times, but, he always bounced back. His best game, he had 27 points against Liberty in an overtime win earlier on in the season at home, which was just great and got the crowd pumped up. Femi Udikali was a great player for us. He also played at Pittsburgh and Seton Hall, so two really good programs. I think he was definitely our most skilled player. Again, with him, the biggest knock to his game was his free throw shooting. It's been better at other years, but this year he shot below 50% from the line, so that's obviously not what you want out of one of your star players. But again, I think that'll definitely improve. I believe he has another year of eligibility. Not sure if he'll stay or not, but that would be cool if he does stay. I would love to see him improve. He averaged just under 11 points a game. I think that if he makes his free throws consistently and he just, works on his game and just, has a great mindset and just does his best, I think next year, if he were to stay with the Aggies, he can improve his scoring by about 3 to 4 points for sure. Casey Isiagu was definitely our leader for the team. He averaged about 9 points and 6 rebounds, which are both career highs. He played at Sam Houston State with Coach Hood in the year prior. Then he also played at Kansas State, and he also actually played at UTEP his freshman year, where he played a little bit there. So he played at UTEP and NMSU, kind of got best of both worlds. Jordan Walls was another great player for us, and Jalen Jackson Posey was a great leader. Jaden Harris surprised a lot of people with his play. There's many great players. Jonathan Kaninga was also good. Even Keelan and Yak off the bench as freshmen, did good things and played some good minutes here and there whenever they needed to, whenever we were low on people. So overall, the whole team, Tanash Petway was also a really great player for us. He came late in the season and did his thing. Our whole team, they did well individually throughout the season. Again, started off kind of slow and just worked their way up and got better. I do want to note also that our first game was literally against Kentucky, which was obviously a challenge for us for sure. Having a brand new team go against a powerhouse like Kentucky was definitely not the way you'd want to start the season. But the first half we were actually really competitive. I watched that entire game. I think it was on CBS. I can't remember too sure. But we were only down by 8 going into halftime, and in the second half they kind of just killed us and ended up winning by 40. We also lost to UNM at the Pit, which is a crazy environment. I've never been to a game there, and UNM is a rival, so I don't like them at all. But I do have to say that the Pit is an amazing experience to probably go check out. I've never been to a game, but I would like to go to one, especially against the Aggies. I feel like that'd be awesome to go watch and cheer on the team. And see the Aggies get an upset win there probably would be really cool. They did end up losing that game at the Pit by 44, but again, that was on the road. And that goes to show you how great they are at home, because they only lost them by 1 at home. And a game they honestly realistically should have won, because they were up by 4 with about a minute left, but couldn't just close out the game. And that's how a lot of their games win. There were some games that they lost, so they just didn't close out games great. I was looking throughout the games, and if they would have just been able to close out games better, they would have been 22-9. And if they would have been able to make their free throws more consistently. Just simple things like that affected them here and there, I think. Again, really happy for the guys and really just appreciated them for coming here, playing here, all knowing that, they're the start of a rebuild, especially the seniors, Jordan, Casey, and Jonathan, just for everyone, and especially them just to be able to come in and play here for at least a year. Just goes to show a lot about them and their personnel. Really happy that they did that, and hopefully get a lot of players that return. I'm not sure who all will return, but I'm assuming we'll have about 6 or 7 guys back. Like I said, the 3 seniors are obviously going to be leaving. And I'm assuming, just with the transfer portal nowadays, there'll probably be about 3 to 4 dudes that do leave. But I would like for them all to stay if they can or if they want. I'm not sure who will all stay, but I would like for at least Christian Cook. I think Femi staying would be cool. Keelan, obviously, would be nice. Jalen. We'll kind of just see how it goes and play it by ear. Obviously, we don't know yet, but maybe I'll make more updates throughout the offseason. And hopefully, we can just have an even better season next season. I think, this team definitely has a lot of potential. And once they start playing together for, 2 to 3 years, they're going to get back to what NMCU used to be. That's going to close out the video, guys. Just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for supporting me and the basketball team and their vlogs throughout the whole season. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out.